5th, 2016 at 5:30. May everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Kathy, would you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Julie Chandler.
Present.
Councilmember Gerald Cohen. Here. Councilmember Pamela Gunn.
Here.
Councilmember John Petrowski.
Here.
Vice Mayor Warren Schwer.
Here.
Mayor Leslie Ford Notero.
Here.
City Manager Nancy Gonzalez. Here. Finance Officer Melanie Cruzona. Here. City Attorney Paul Marino.
Here.
And Councilmember Mitchell Quezada.
Thank you. A motion to approve the agenda? So moved. Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Agenda passes 6-0. I need a motion to approve the November 7th City Council minutes.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I wanted to find out if it was appropriate or not. Under my comments, I not only thank the city for filling in, which was in the minutes, but it was not saying recognizing Melanie for the amount of money that she saved us with the tree trimming. So I didn't know if that should be in the minutes or not.
Yeah, as I explained, we don't do verbatim minutes, but I would gladly add anything if the mayor and council.
Okay. So Councilmember Chandler wants to amend the council comments section to say that she thanked Melanie for the amount of money she saved with the tree trimming for her direct decorations.
Correct. It was a significant amount of money, so I think that should be noted.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as amended?
So moved, can I do that? So moved?
Think so? Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Minutes are approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Citizens' comments. Each speaker will be recognized once and will be limited to a 3-minute presentation on any subject that is not on the agenda. Do we have anyone who wants to speak? Yes, sir. Let's come up and give your name and address.
Good evening, Mark Oldman, 437 22nd Street, Bel Air. Just really a point of information for this evening's meetings. At prior meetings, we had discussed the notion of having a workshop that included the core group from the Bel Air undergrounding, as well as the city council members that were interested in participating in the workshop. And in light of the fact that there wasn't a motion made to create a workshop to deal with a particular topic, I'm wondering what is the policy and procedure that we as residents need to do to bring this to fruition so that we can participate and share the information we have with the city council, who obviously wants to be made aware of what we're doing, as well as we want to be made aware of what the city council is doing about the underground. So looking for an answer to what exactly we as residents need to do to make sure that a workshop gets authorized and we're allowed to participate.
Right now, we're still waiting for some more information and costs and things like that. I think that once we've gotten that information, at that point, it would be appropriate to schedule a workshop.
Okay, so from the city's engineer, we're looking for more work to be done,
Yes,
and
sir.
for him to provide us some information.
Yes, sir.
Is the city council prepared tonight to give us an update on the work that the engineer has done since the previous city council meeting when there was no update?
I can give you a little bit of an update. I had emailed Mr. Carrier asking him for an update if he had heard from Bright House, who is now Spectrum and Frontier. And he told me that he had several conversations with someone from Spectrum who assured him that he would get the figures to him within a couple of weeks, and he never heard from him again. So I called Duke Energy, Miriam Tucker, who I know, to ask if she knew of another contact, and she gave me the same person's name, and I told her the issue that Mr. Carrier was having, and she said she would reach out to this person and ask him to please get back in touch with Al Carrier. He did finally get a good contact last week, again from Duke, for Verizon, Frontier. So he now has good contacts he's working with. So that's where we
Can I
are.
say something? You know, I think the workshop at this point would be a really good idea. The neighborhood group has been working on this for years, and they've got a lot of really good input. So I would like to make a motion to put together a workshop as soon as possible, so they can share that information, rather than wait month to month for the updates. So I'd like to make that motion.
We can't really go forward.
Good motion. What?
We can't really go forward until we have.
Until we have that information. I know it's frustrating for
Well, there
them,
are
it's
other-
frustrating for us as well.
But there's
to not
other
have the
aspects
information.
that need to be looked into, and they already have that information, and they could be sharing that. So it's my feeling it would be a good idea, rather than wait another month. Maybe they could
Yes.
be moving forward on different issues that have to be addressed.
If I can clarify a little bit of what Pam's talking about. Obviously, we're all interested in getting some really distinct numbers about the entire project. But we have a lot of questions as well as information that we've been able to put together that we think the board should be aware of, so that when we do get the numbers finally back, which originally we were told could take up to 6 months, that we have the other parts of the process that are needed put together. And we've been working on those so that when the numbers come in, we can put it all together and really get on top of the situation, get the project moving full steam ahead. So that was really the reason for us wanting to sit with the council members and pull all of these thoughts together and let us present what we have found out, which really isn't pertinent to the total final cost, but to the procedural things that we need to pull together to get this project underway.
Is there anything that you can email the staff so that when we have a workshop, we will have that and then you can be there and follow up on it? So that we can possibly answer those questions and research those questions?
If you can get a date and a workshop set up, I think we can pull together enough information to send to you in advance so that you have something to consider, yes, for sure.
As far as a date for a workshop, we already have one scheduled for next Monday, and the following week, I know I'm out. I think that Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then the following week is Christmas. So,
Yeah, maybe, middle of January, we can set up a workshop, and I don't think we need to do a motion to set it, I mean, we all agree, I believe, that we do need to have a workshop to get together, we need to get all our numbers and pull everything together. But, as we did with this one coming up next Monday, Patty sees what everybody might be available, tries to arrange a good time, so
Okay.
we'll definitely work on that.
All right, I appreciate that very much. At least that we have a date to work towards, right?
Yeah.
And we'll see that the core group gets enough information together so that you've got a lot of questions that we would like answers for, and certainly we should be able to provide you with some. I do have one other question, and I know I'm close to my time limit, but does the city council and the city in general consider the engineering contractor that has been hired to be the project manager of this for the city and to represent the city in bringing this project to fruition? Or is there a responsible party with the city who's going to take on the responsibility for managing the project for the city?
If I may answer that,
Sure.
I think the answer is both. And the answer to the question is there'll be two people, two key individuals. That'll be the city's public works director and community services director, coupled with the engineer, who will work collectively together to bring this project together once the city decides on how to proceed, including how to finance.
Okay, and I certainly understand those roles and how that will work. Can we be assured that the city representative will be a part of the workshop then, so he can be made aware of what's going on? Is that pertinent?
I would think that timing would be, he starts January 17th, so I think that would, in fact, the 16th is a holiday, we're closed. So I'm sure he would do everything he could to be able to make that workshop.
Okay, and if he is going to act as a project manager, we'd certainly be willing to put it off a week so that he could get up to speed and get comfortable in his new position. But we'd like that person, that contact, to be familiar with our faces and our names so that we can communicate effectively.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you,
Okay,
sir.
thank you.
Anyone else from the audience that wishes to speak? Seeing no one else, citizens' comments will be closed. The regular agenda, item number 4, consideration of engaging special counsel to collect and litigate code leak claims and foreclosures. Paul?
Yes, ma'am. The situation with city claims from code enforcement liens, coupled with the complexities of a lot of the foreclosure proceedings that the city's been subjected to, has created a hodgepodge at such a level that this city attorney, notwithstanding 40 years in this business, is somewhat confused about the procedural aspects, at least the contemporary procedural aspects, of dealing with liens that come in after foreclosures are started, and how those liens can run with the land or not run with the land or get extinguished. I had suggested to the city that they retain special counsel knowledgeable in this particular area to deal with this in a cost-effective way. That eliminates my learning curve and all the things that are necessary. I'm familiar with filing liens in both bankruptcy and foreclosure proceedings before they start or when they start. We currently have a case that is extremely complex, and we want to resolve it properly because the amount of lien is running an average of about $24,000 a month. So we want to be able to assess the proper party under the proper circumstance so that it can deal with the test of law and be able to collect what's due. I have recommended to the city manager, to the mayor, that we recommend that we retain special counsel for this particular purpose. And we have 2 individuals who have submitted proposals to the city for the city council's consideration. You want to pick it up from there, Mayor, or shall I take it?
Well, the 2 people are both very well qualified in these somewhat specialized areas of working foreclosures and liens and code enforcement and all those sorts of things together. One is Tom Trask, who is the city attorney for several other cities around here. And he's with the firm of Trask Dagignon. I hope I pronounced that right. And, pardon? Daniel, I'm sorry, okay. And the other one that he would recommend was a woman named Nikki Tate from Bryant, Miller, and Olive. Both are very well qualified. Both could do this. I would recommend Mr. Trask, based in part on his experience and on the hourly fee they're charging. We don't know exactly how many hours are going to be involved. This would just be, we've got the one that's very hot right now, and then a couple other ones that may, come up later. So it would be my recommendation that we engage Mr. Trask as special counsel to deal with these code enforcement liens on an as-needed basis.
Let me say that, if I might, Mayor, we've interviewed both. At least I've interviewed Tommy Trask. Everybody's pretty much familiar with Tom. He's been involved with representing cities in one capacity or another for the past 26 years. And then we had an orientation meeting here with the city manager, the mayor, and myself with regard to Nikki, Nate. The key here, from the standpoint of not only complexity of the legal issues involved, but also from a practical standpoint, this is not Clearwater or St. Pete or Largo, it's cost. And because this can get to be labor intensive to an extent, I'm recommending both one is qualified and also the cost. And the mayor's made that suggestion that Tommy Trask is probably the best one. The fee quoted by Nikki Nate through her boss, Zimmett, was $275 an hour, billable hour. Even though originally she had told me she was billing out at 200 and had hoped to get it down below that for a city contract. It came through at 275. Tommy Trask's hourly rate is as it has been with most of the cities around here where he does the same type of work, is 175. Now that's only $25 per hour more than I do, and I've got a learning curve and he doesn't. So I would support the mayor's recommendation with regard to Tommy Trask.
Council have any comments, questions?
That's not, so this is not something that you are familiar with?
Let me qualify that. I'm familiar with it. I have filed numerous claims and liens in both bankruptcy and foreclosure proceedings, not only for this city, but also for other cities. The complexity here, there's a complexity in this one case that we're faced with right now, is that the foreclosure list pendants was filed in 2015. All claims against that list pendants, that's a notice of action against real estate, must be filed within 30 days. Our lien didn't start until 2016 with a hearing by the special master, Susan Moore, and she assessed $150 a day of penalty if they didn't correct the lien. And we need to correct the lien as well as collect the money due. This has been running $24,000 a month. We're in our second month. It all started, city clerk called me and said, how far do I need to keep carrying this thing out until we do something? So we're outside of the statute of limitations on filing a claim with the list pendants. That doesn't mean we're out completely, because there's some question about whether or not the foreclosure proceeding was properly done. These are all of the complexities we're dealing with. I believe in the final analysis that it would be the city's best interest to retain special counsel who does this on a regular basis with other cities. And I personally interviewed Tom Trask, and he does this on a regular basis with other cities and collects money for them in collecting these liens. And I might add that this is something we might want to retain for the future. It's really cost effective when you think about it in the final analysis.
I'm thinking more cost effective is what is the likelihood that we're going to see any money out of this, number one, and number two, we have your services. I'm just not, I don't know, my gut's saying, I mean, if I was going to choose between one and the other, yes, I would choose Trask, but I'm not necessarily agreeing with the idea that we should even hire someone else when we have you. That's just,
Let me say that
maybe I have more faith in you than you.
there's no guarantee anywhere at any time in these foreclosure proceedings about what a judge would or would not do. I do know that this is not a special assessment lien, which can jump that first mortgage. This is a code enforcement lien. We could walk on it, forget about it, but what we need to do is get into the fray to get a judge to tell either the bank or the new party in interest that you're going to correct this matter. I don't care about the liens as much as you're going to correct this matter. Could I get that done? I probably could if I had to, but I think it would be done quicker, faster, easier, and cheaper to Tom than it would be with me.
But you're saying it's not enforceable, even if he does?
I'm saying that I believe it's enforceable if we can get past the 30-day statutory requirement for filing a lien when the list pendants was filed in 2015, but the actual cause of action for the foreclosure didn't start until 2016, and then our liens come in after that. So we're beyond both start dates to enforce this lien. And I think what we need is to jump into this fray on a cost-effective basis to get a judge to say, I tell you what, we'll enforce part of your lien or none of your lien, but we're going to insist that you're going to correct the problem.
If I may say something, these liens were filed against the bank. The former owner had already passed away. These liens were filed against the bank, and they were responsible for keeping up the property. They didn't. So I think that based upon that, since this all happened after the foreclosure was filed, there's a good chance that we could be able to jump in and make an argument that these are special circumstances that could let us get in, notwithstanding the 30-day time frame. Is that correct, Paul?
Yes, and here's the other thing. Tom's got 7 lawyers on staff and a lot of paralegals, as well as extensive research in this area, a big research backfire. I mean, I'd have to go in the courthouse and spend a couple of days in there to go do the research necessary to lay the proper predicate for a complaint or a complaint for declaratory judgment with regard to what our rights might be under these circumstances. Again, in my opinion, it would be more cost effective in this particular circumstance because it is so unusual to retain the services from Tom Travis from a cost standpoint.
We can always
Free
do it.
work that the paralegals do, is that a lower price or a different hourly rate?
Most
Yes.
paralegals are lower rates.
Yes.
Did they quote the prices for paralegals? I remember seeing
I
that.
do know that Tom personally does most of this on his own, but his paralegal, her name is Kathy Long.
Yeah, paralegals, are always a lower rate, right?
I just didn't see quoting there for it.
My paralegal's sitting out there in the audience.
Any other, yes, Mitch?
Yeah, I know she.
If I'm understanding correctly, he's not looking for a retainer of any kind.
No, that's good.
No, it's going to be a straight hourly basis. We'll do it exactly the same way on the hourly basis on line item billing that I do. So you will see, you'll get a chance to see exactly which tasks he does and how long it takes him to perform those tasks. Just like I do each month. You can look at my bills and it reads like a diary.
So before he starts, will we get an estimate?
That's sometimes hard to do because you don't know what you're getting into. I did not ask Tom whether or not he would cap any of that. Because as I see this, I think, and put it to you this way. When I was in Kansas City and I had to deal with a lot of forfeiture cases, I'd done forfeitures for 20 years or 17 years with the sheriff's office. I could do it in my sleep. But it was more cost effective for me to retain a city attorney who handled the St. Petersburg Police Department to do these forfeitures for Kansas City. And I convinced Kansas City City Council to let him do it. I wasn't playing with it. He enjoyed doing it. He did it cheaper than I could do it. And that was the important thing, to be cost effective. And I honestly believe that this is a cost effective way of dealing with this matter. I would not advise it otherwise.
Do you have something else?
I'm just going to make a motion that we go with the mayor and city attorney's recommendation.
Any second?
Second.
Any discussion?
So the motion is that we are engaging special counsel, or are we deciding between which of the city council?
The motion is to engage Tom Travis as special counsel for the purpose of enforcing code enforcement liens.
Okay. Any motion and a second? Ben, call roll?
Councilmember Cohen. Aye. Councilmember Chandler.
No.
Councilmember Gunn.
Aye.
Councilmember Crop.
Aye.
Councilmember Petrowski.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Schwer.
Aye.
Mayor Notaro.
Aye. Motion passes 6-1. Next item on the agenda, item 5, consideration of resolution 2016-11. Paul?
Yes, ma'am, it's resolution 2016-11, it's a resolution of the City Council of the City of Delaware Beach, Florida, in support of the Safe Cities, Safe Florida initiative through the Florida League of Cities during the fiscal year 2016-2017, and establishing an effective date.
We have a motion to approve resolution 2016-11.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Patty?
Councilmember Chandler.
Aye.
Councilmember Gunn.
Aye.
Councilmember Crop.
Aye.
Councilmember Petrowski.
Aye.
Councilmember Cohen. Aye. Vice Mayor Schwer.
Aye.
Mayor Notaro.
Aye. Motion passes 7-0. Mayor and city council comments. Where do we want to start? John?
I have none at this time.
Okay. Carol?
I have none except to wish everybody a happy holiday.
Thank you. Jules?
I second what Gerald said. That's all I was going to say.
Yeah.
I'm third.
Yeah, wish everybody Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday also. And I'd like to also have some consideration given to possibly forming a ad hoc committee to work on the undergrounding project, actually. And maybe that's something that can come out of the workshop, but just as a thought.
Wish everybody a happy holiday, and for those of you traveling, a safe travel.
To wish everyone a happy holiday. Next Monday, we have our workshop at 4:30 to discuss the sewage drainage issues. Other than that, I don't have any other comments. Paul?
My latest communication with Joe Saunders in connection with offshore fuels is that he's got the 5,000, but he's trying to get us 6,000 or 7,000 from the settlement with the company that made the defective product. His problem has been dealing with the reclamation company. They've been wanting more than he can get together, but he's assured me we've got the 5 and trying to get us more in connection with our damages. Hopefully he'll deliver, or he'll disappoint us.
How much you pay for road damages?
21,000. My problem, Jared, my problem is that I'm dealing with a person who could not pay a judgment if he had one against him. And to spend the kind of money it would take to litigate that claim right now, right in seven, is not smart. I mean, I do it, maybe making a little money in the city would lose. It's not smart. I've got this 5 promised, trying to get me 6 to 7, which is even better. And
Anything else?
no, I think that's all I have. Like, we'll run up to Georgia.
Nancy?
I just want to say happy holidays to everyone, and Pam wanted me to let everyone know that the new beach stickers are in. So just bring in your driver's license and your vehicle registration so that they are in. And they're free, they don't cost anything.
Oh, and one other thing, the buoys are back up.